Alright, so here we go. This is going to be the last on our zucchini series. We're going to make zucchini brownies. As luck would have it, we need 2.5 cups of shredded zucchini, and that's all I have left from that wonderful batch of zucchini I got from my neighbor's garden. So, it's going to be kind of a really easy recipe. We've got all of our basics here. Maybe 2.5 cups of zucchini, a little bit of sea salt, 1.5 cups of sugar. I always like to blend my brown sugar with the white sugar. Just gives a little more richer, deeper, sweeter flavor, I think. You can go all white sugar, you can go all brown sugar. You're going to have variations on your recipes. You're going to have variations on the taste. You're going to have variations on the way it comes out. It's just all up to you. Trial and error. 2 cups of flour, unsweetened baking cocoa, vanilla flavoring. You can make your own vanilla flavoring. You can buy imitation. You can buy the real stuff. I use vanilla vodka, actually. That works out really well in brownies. Baking soda, 1/2 cup butter, softened. If you came right out of the refrigerator, go ahead and pop it in the microwave for about 15 seconds. It's nice and soft. 2 eggs. Got to kick it up. Got a little chili powder. Tupperware bowl and a mixer. So it's real easy. So we'll just go ahead and get started here. Take your bowl and your butter. Nice and soft. And before I cream it, you should probably cream it first. But before I do, I go ahead and add those eggs just to give a little more liquid, just in case. But the butter is usually after about 15 seconds. It's pretty soft because you can kind of smush it when it comes out of the microwave, and it works out really nicely then. So the eggs. Wow, it's that fancy one-handed craft. You know, if you guys didn't know it, I am classically trained. I watched the classics on TV. I watched Good Eats, and I watched Emerald, and you can watch Martha Stewart, but that was before she went to prison. And at this point, just go ahead and just plop in all of that nice, yummy sugar. It's going to help just sweeten things up. It's going to taste all better. So far, that's been really, really easy. Not a whole lot to this. Just kind of have some fun, play with it. So we're going to go ahead and start adding in some more of the powdered stuff here. We need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I use the sea salt. Personally, I can't stand the taste of salt. Sea salt's tolerable in my opinion, and I know this is a regular teaspoon. It's not some fancy schmancy measuring spoon. I've got those, but getting out of the drawer is just as easy. You're going to do 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda and baking powder are not interchangeable. You got to be very, very careful. Leavening agent, rising agents. One's for cleaning, one's for not. You deodorize your refrigerator, but this one's going to call for baking soda, or baking soda, yeah. Some recipes will call for both, some will call for one or the other. You know, and it's just one of those things that the recipe's going to call for probably whatever you don't have. They both have expiration dates. They both come in big quantities for the amount that you use. You'll just kind of learn. It'll come to you. But here we are with 2 teaspoons. Three teaspoons. 4 teaspoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. Very, very simple recipe here. Chili powder. Got to kick it up there a little bit. I just throw in, I'm going to throw in just about a teaspoon of it. It's up to you. You can take this completely out of the recipe. The chilies and chocolate are really great flavors that blend really well together. You find them in a lot of like Mexican cocos, Mexican desserts and stuff. Any type of chili is going to work. It depends on your taste. And just mix that all back up again. Good and combined. I always save the vanilla for last. I don't know why. I think it's something I saw on TV once, that because of all the alcohol levels in the vanilla extracts, that it's going to dissipate faster. I really think that's just actually in the baking process, but you can add it whenever you want. I just add it at the end. It doesn't really matter. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a sniffle this morning. It's okay though. I washed my hands and I took my cold medicine, so we're all good. Alright, here's when it's going to start getting really, really messy. Remember those 2 cups of flours? We're going to add them very, very slowly because we're going to use the mixer for as long as we can. Just add it about a ½ cup at a time. It's going to come to a point it's going to get really, really thick and hard to mix. I'm going to start adding some of the zucchini then, because that extra moisture will help. Going really good. You can use just a regular hand mixer. You can use a stand mixer, whatever you want. Kind of going a little old school, a little slower this morning. Instead, it's really a preference. If you want to mix this all by hand, you can skip going to the gym. That'll take care of all your upper body work for you. Maybe a little lopsided unless you're ambidextrous. Wow, that got a little away from me, kind of flung about right there. Okay, as you can see, this is kind of getting thick. It's really good cookie dough consistency at this point. I'm going to go ahead and just toss in a little bit of that zucchini right now, loosen it back up, and make it a little bit easier to work on my mixer. This is all about easy. It's not about hard. Just want to enjoy it. I love to bake. I love to cook. I like to take the easy way out, though. I'm going to be straight up and honest about that. I've tried the hard recipes. I have found personally that they're harder when you look at them on the paper and you convince yourself with all those fancy words like sautéed and pureed and like the velouté sauce. Right? If somebody had just said that was cream sauce, I'd have made that a long time ago. Well, probably not because I never used zucchini before, but same concept. Oh yeah. See, that just lightened it up a lot. Now, I personally tell very few people that these are zucchini brownies. Say that word zucchini and they're like, oh, it's a vegetable, it's nasty, it's gross, get it away from me. Yeah. I went to work and told them they were fresh from my garden brownies. Boy, did everybody eat those. Of course, they were bummed later when they didn't have any real interesting side effects, but they really liked the brownies. We added the last of our flour here. We'll get this mixed in pretty well. And if you remember, we've gone through all of those ingredients. All we're going to have to do now is just careful here. Make it a little messy there at the end. I'm going to go ahead and just put in the rest of the zucchini. I'm going to go ahead and mix this stuff in by hand now. It's just not a big deal at this point. Just going to get it nice and incorporated, mix it in there. I've already preheated my oven to 350 degrees. I've got a baking dish. I've lined the baking dish with foil. You don't have to. That's an awful big chunk. That's not shredded anymore. Like I said, you don't have to. You can line it with parchment paper. You can flour it. You can do pretty much whatever you want on it. I just noticed it's easier to dish mount when that's lined. I don't have any parchment paper here in the house right now, so it's okay. Get a nice light coffee colored mix now. And pretty much, you can't see much of the zucchini. I mean, if we're looking for it, of course we can see it. That's why we don't tell kids that vegetables are in anything. So, and I am using my Tupperware bowl. Like I said, I got a lot of Tupperware from a friend of mine. I have her website up too. And I'm just going to plop it in there and scoop out all that extra stuff. You don't want to miss any of it. It's chocolate. It's heaven. Well, that's what I hear at least. This, with the exception of the butter, is a great dessert for people who are lactose sensitive or lactose intolerant. And you can easily switch that butter out for applesauce or margarine, or actually probably even use an extra half cup or so of the zucchini if you wanted. Just as long as you still have that moisture. You won't have this much fat, so it's going to be a little bit softer. There's a lot, you can go online, there's a lot of ways that you can switch out the butter to decrease your fat intake or your caloric intake, or, you know, you can do however you want. And one of the guys I work with, flat out, it's butter all the way. And quite frankly, if I could eat butter, I'd be right there with them 100%. So, here we go. You can do a little topping if you want. You could toss frosting on there when you're done, or actually right now before you even put it in the oven, you could pop some chocolate chips on top, but I'm just going to pop it in the oven like this. Again, 350 degrees, 25 to 30 minutes, depends on your oven. So we'll come back as soon as it comes out. Alright, so here we go. We got the zucchini brownies out of the oven. Nice and hot. They're going to be a little gooey inside, mushy. And here you go. Here's the recipe, minus deviations. More than welcome to follow that, kick it up on your own, do whatever you like. Just as long as when these are nice and cool, you cut into them and enjoy every bite. I'll see you next time.